Now let's turn things over back again to meteorologist Chesley McNeil. Chesley, we're noticing some areas getting a break from the snow, but we're not done with this storm yet.
No, some areas still receiving snow. You take a look at up into Blue Ridge, you can see the snow coming down at a pretty decent clip as well. Been watching this road as cars have been driving by very slowly. That's a utility vehicle right there, so good news there. But then you look at the road just above that, lots of cars rolling by pretty quickly there. And so it's coming down pretty good. Looks like a little winter wonderland out there up in the Blue Ridge area where we thought that the snow would be a little bit higher as far as the totals go there. You come back down here toward the metro area. This is our Decatur cam, and you can barely see it, but if you look at some of the darker areas, you see a snowflake mixing in with a little rain. So we have mixing down here to the south and the Northridge Mountains where you have that rain. It's indicated on that by our radar here. You can see that here where we got that mixing. Now starting to lift a little bit further to the north, which is very significant. Up into Murraysville now, you see where we have that mixing taking place, and even over here toward the west as well. Got to check out my roam camera as well to see if there's any rain getting in there, where we had some decent snowfall up there. Anywhere from 1 to 3 inches so far have been reported around the area from the north down to the south. We had at least 2.5 inches right here in our patio outside, so some decent snows. And now with that rain coming down, as it comes down with the snow that's out there, it'll freeze on contact, so that becomes hard, crunchy, right? Nothing that you want to walk on or even drive on some of those roads that are on the slushy side. And so that's been the reports all around the metro area, even as far south as McDonough. Catching a break a little further down to the south, even where Zachary was. He's catching a little bit of a break from that precipitation, but more will be coming back. You can see the feed. Right? All this wet weather that's down toward Montgomery, that's coming in our direction, so it's headed toward us. If you look earlier at this particular loop, you saw all that white that was over into Birmingham, and now that line is pushed further off to the north where they're receiving mainly rain with some sleet mixing in. I think that's going to be the case for us as we head further into the afternoon as more of this moisture begins to move over, as temperatures will hang around the freezing mark like they are right now. 33 degrees right now in the city of Atlanta. You got 32 in Duluth and over toward Athens, 33 in Georgia's Rome, 20s up there to the north where we have all snow, and it's coming down pretty good up in the Blairsville area as we speak. 34 over toward Thomaston. The warm spot so far is LaGrange at 36. Now, I don't think our temperatures will get that high. If they do, we'll be looking at more of a cold rain around here. I think they're going to hover right where they are, maybe getting as high as 34, but that's about it. And even at 34, we can get that mixing taking place. I've even seen snow in temperatures around 41, but I don't think that's going to be the case for us this afternoon. Large system, so it's going to be with us for the rest of the afternoon. No real tapering off like you're seeing over toward Louisiana. This really won't taper off until later on tonight. I'm thinking about 9, 10 o'clock. And so if you had plans of thinking, oh, I'll go out when after things are done to try to clean up or do anything, don't do it. Don't even worry about it. Stay inside, take a break from it. Let the system come through, and then once it starts to settle down, then things will settle down for us. But we're still looking at a weather impact day for tomorrow as well, because I do think even after the area of low pressure passes us and the precipitation begins to end, we'll still have impacts around here because of the ice that begins to accumulate. The winds will start to pick up a little bit, and that could fly around some ice on us a little bit. We talk about the ice, and this is the potential ice, the forecast for us, all right? And it shows that additional ice fall could begin to accumulate maybe even over 1/4 of an inch in some spots, especially to the north and east of the city. You're talking about between Murrayville and Atlanta, over toward Athens, Browardville as well. We could be seeing some pockets where the ice could accumulate over 1/4 of an inch, and that could be devastating for us. Now, 1/4 of an inch, of course, leads to the icy roads, makes that a little bit tricky to travel. Tree and limbs start to sag down a little bit, so if you see that around your house, you know that there's icing weighing down some of those trees, tree limbs. Also on the power lines as well, which could lead to power outages. It's still cold outside, and so if the power is out, not getting that heat, that could be problems for us. If it gets over 1/4 of an inch, now you're talking about significant damage to trees, long-term power outages, and not to mention roads becoming impassable. Can't even get on them at all. Talked about the winds a little bit. They will pick up a little bit later on this afternoon, and then they'll start to calm back down later on tonight. I think that's going to help those temperatures to fall off. We got the snow pack, the ice pack there, so temperatures are going to be cold tonight. We'll go down into the 20s. But what's going to happen tomorrow, even after the precipitation leaves, is that those winds really start to pick up again. Behind the system, we'll have those northwest winds getting up to about 10 to 15 miles per hour. That could blow around some things, okay? So we have to be on the lookout for that, and that's what we'll be looking out for. Snow totals, I think we're pretty much done with it here in Atlanta as far as any additional snowfall. That'll be mainly up to the north. Jonathan, going back to you.
Chesley, thanks so much, and our coverage continues here on 11 Alive all afternoon. We'll take a quick break and be right back.